Traditionally in education, they view literacy as teaching to read and write. So people, they just learn to read and write. After that, they don't know what to do.
In fact, we usually find out that people say, well, okay, what do we do next? We want to do something else. And that's one of the dominant things we found, is there's this great desire for learning. And people want to continue to learn.
The UPLIFT view looks at literacy as ability to use reading, writing, and numeracy. So when a person is able to use these skills, then he is literate.
The UPLIFT program is based on the idea that knowledge must be applied to be learned.
But if they are just in mind, so that the mind looks like a storehouse of information, then to UPLIFT, that is not literacy.
The UPLIFT, it does not teach only the knowledge, but they teach the experience through the experience. You must do the thing practically. For example, UPLIFT have trained them to use fertilizer, to use manure.
UPLIFT has encouraged them to get into development, because after all, we can't develop for them. They have to develop themselves. And I think that also shows there's a lot of ownership taken in the program.
In Pakwach, these people have been fishermen or traditional agriculturalists. Now, because they've been traditional agriculturalists, they don't produce much to satisfy their economic needs and social needs. And we want to focus our attention on fertilizers production, by enriching the soil through this compost, not really fertilizers in a modern sense, but preparing compost which will enrich the soil for agriculture production.
One of the subjects that is important there is cassava, which is their basic food. And UPLIFT recommends using the new seeds and the new stocks and so on.
Many people were planting even these cassavas. They plant it anyhow like that, not using a line. So when we started sensitizing these people, or teaching these learners here, they have started also to practice. So by this time, it is influencing even other community members also. They have also started to plant in a line.
So I've planned to make my learners to know the modern farming so that they can plant things in lines. So even UPLIFT have told us that we should plant things in line. The reason is, it's easier to plant, it is easier to sell, it is easier to make another crops under it also. It is easier to apply even the compost under these things. So I take my children, so they should do it practically. So they should not use it here only, they should go and use it even in their own garden also. That's why I plan to do the demonstration field with my learners,
In order to develop, there must be land. But also strength, the land are not enough. The person must also have knowledge. He must have skills. But all these things, when we put together, the result is material development. but we also need spirituality. Spirituality teaches us how to use our success in the material world. We went to Padier County. We found that people had very, very, very strong religious prejudice there. People, Muslims could not, work together with the Christians, and the Christians couldn't work with Baha'is. Baha'is could not work with Muslims. So this prejudice or religious, it came because of prejudice. So we said, now what can we do?
We are trying to encouraging what we call interfaith. This one, interfaith, we use it for to improve moral behavior in the community.
The interfaith program involves studying quotations from scriptures, which means from all holy books, could be Islam, could be Buddhism, could be Christianity, but focusing on virtues.
It turned out that the material that we used were sort of general religious teachings, of the Word of God. For example, quotations from the Bible, quotations from the Quran, quotations from the Baha'i writings, and picking subjects which are related to community development.
Subjects to change life, like for example, we have love, unity, faith, and so forth. This helps learners to change their life.
They say that that's the best part of the training program, is the 15 minutes to half an hour sort of meditation on these quotations at the beginning of every refresher and training course.